The medieval war machines are on the move. Hey, how's it going? And welcome back to another Medieval Kingdoms 1212 online battle. Today we have another epic 3 vs 3 as these medieval sides clash for dominance. If we go ahead and take a look at the two armies, we can see that they are forming up. Obviously, this is a 3 vs 3, as I just said. So as you can see, they're taking up the majority of the space on the battlefield, ready to push forward their lines and hit into one another. On this left-hand side, we have the forces of Milan. You can see they've got these kind of overall shield infantry right here. They have some halberds back here, the Ducal Guard, which looks so goddamn awesome. And look at that glinting in the sun as well, as it's just shining off of the armor. Looking very nice indeed. To the left of them, we have the forces of Bohemia. I believe this is the Bohemian flag. And they've got these spearmen and other heavy infantry on their front line. And then finally, on their far left, we have the army of Switzerland. So Switzerland are not staying neutral this day. They are lending their mercenaries to the battle. So again, they'll be pushing forward with heavy knights, heavy infantry. And I love the Swiss spearmen as well. They just are kind of, very cool. And they'll have their halberds somewhere, right? Yeah, they have their famous Swiss halberds over on this other side. Right here. And then if we take a look on the other side of the field of battle, we do have the forces of Trier, one of the electors of the Holy Roman Emperor. Heavy Pavese spearmen on the front line, and they'll have their other German knights behind them. Over to their left, we have the forces of Genoa. God, I'm pretty impressed how well I'm getting all the names. Considering the fact that, I'm kind of just going by all the flags. They'll have their famous Italian Pavese crossbows on the front line with other infantry kind of scattered throughout, and some Italian pikes back here. So the Germans and Italians are bounding together. And then finally we have the Flemish infantry. So the Dutch are coming into play as well. So they're going to be forming up with their kind of, their knights and probably some really good bowmen, longbowmen. I was told in this battle that archer range is actually bugged in this version of 1212. So because of that, the archers will shoot ridiculously far. Apparently just in this build, the archer ranges were just a little bit messed up. I'm sure that's been fixed by now. As hopefully we'll get some more battles soon enough. And I also want to give a massive shout out to the guys who sent in this replay as well. I really appreciate it. They sent me in Rise of Mordor, they sent me in 1212, and it's really awesome. So a massive shout out to you guys. And if you guys want to play in these battles, be sure to join my Discord. The link is down below in the description. At the moment they're trying to get some 7 Kingdoms on the go. So if you're looking to play some Game of Thrones battles, then just join my Discord and go ahead and jump into one of the battles when we need players. Here we go, the music is heating up. Also, massive shout out to 1212 for releasing their own music pack. So this music pack actually has songs from all over Total War, which is really awesome to hear the Medieval 2 soundtrack. And I mean, this one is amazing, really cool stuff. As the two forces do get closer and closer, Milan advancing forward their archers. And it'll be interesting to see how far the actual archer range is in this, because, as I said, the archer range is bugged. So, are we going to be getting like ballista cross-map 420 snipes, or what? I mean, it doesn't look like it's that crazy. I guess it is quite a long way, as we are having. I mean, these guys, the bowmen right here, the Italian bowmen, are going to be doing some pretty gnarly damage right there. It says they're firing, but I guess they haven't. Oh, there's maybe a few down here. The lone archer. Just, this one archer shooting over. He's the bowman of Helm's Deep. Oh no, here we go. There's a handful of them as the sides do get closer and closer. You can see over on the Swiss flank as well, the famous halberds holding firm. There is actually a big cavalry build-up on this right flank by Trier. They need to be kind of careful. But Trier, interestingly enough, have brought the majority of their crossbowmen over to this right-hand side, meaning that they'll be able to maybe try and take out some of the halberd infantry and the axes from the Swiss if they're not careful, and they've got heavy knights protecting them. So this could be a really interesting strategy. However, it does leave them very vulnerable elsewhere. Obviously, the rest of their battle line doesn't have crossbowmen to fight with, so that's going to be very interesting. And here we go, the main missile fight. Now again, both sides are only firing a couple shots off every single time. And I'm sure they're going to be getting returning fire coming their way as well. A nice little skirmish to get this battle started. You can see the missiles on this left-hand side are also trying to look to get a little bit closer. Yeah, the Flemish bowmen, I would assume the Flemish bowmen actually have really good range, but I guess not. And at the moment, they are getting volley after volley into their ranks. And they're not even in loose formation as well. They do look really cool, though. I love the arrow holder on their backs. It looks really nice. And there you go. They're going to be firing a volley of arrows at their opponents. They also need to be very careful. The cavalry is starting to make its move. The war dogs have been released. Look at them go. I want to kind of take a look at both of these because the cavalry is also moving. But these war dogs can just do so much damage against unbraced infantry. The cavalry is going to try and charge them. Cavalry isn't really the best unit to take them on. And they're going to just go right into the heavy knights of Genoa, the Italian heavy knights. I mean, look at these. These guys must have been updated recently because I don't remember them looking this clean. I think that's a new, like, under chainmail that they've got a new model, which looks amazing. That looks really good. God, 1212 is such a good mod. The amount of work that goes into this is just absolutely crazy. When you guys get to play the campaign, it's going to be absolutely insane, trust me. So right now, it seems like the Flemish have brought their archers back behind their battle line, which is pretty smart, right? Also, the archers for Milan are very much in front of their battle line, so they can get hit by cavalry. I mean, this cavalry can go quite close. It does seem like, though, that both sides are putting their cavalry quite close to the battle line, so they can quickly interact if they need to. Going further along the fight itself, we do have the cavalry moving up, and you're looking just to kind of warn off other foes. The crossbows have moved over completely to this right flank. They are building a wall of red line right here going up against. But we do also have the Swiss bowmen as well. The Swiss bowmen are set up quite nicely to hammer these guys as they try and get into position to try and focus down the halberds. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do, is basically just out position and hammer these guys, soften up this flank so that their cavalry can break through. But whilst doing that, they're going to leave themselves extremely vulnerable to the incoming fire. No cavalry. Oh, we got a little cavalry movement. Let's get on board with this cavalry unit as the sun just glimmers. No, just a feint using this cavalry to try and scare off. And I mean, it kind of was successful. It brought this cavalry, this unit of crossbows back a little bit. So that was pretty useful. Getting some cavalry pushed around the right flank. Oh, a wedge formation by the Flemish knights about to collide into the stationary Milanese cavalrymen. That was very good for them. However, the Duke himself, or the Ducal, is it the Ducal? Yeah, the familiar Ducal cavalry unit's going to be looking to get a nice little flank right there. And there doesn't seem like there's any support for the Flemish cavalry charge. So even though that was really good and they did a ton of damage, it seems like Milan are looking to commit a lot to this fight right here. And they've got their cavalry and their infantry making their way over in shield wall to help out. And that could put this Flemish knight unit in a bit of a predicament. You can see they are getting surrounded, so even though their numbers won't drop immediately, they'll start to lose their HP and then they'll start to go down. So they did do a great amount of damage. Is there any... Okay, the Flemish are now sending infantry to match the Milanese. And oh my god, the battle is just kicking off in full force. Holy crap. We're having a lot of infantry going in. A nice cavalry charge right there. We also got a cavalry charge off onto these war dog handlers and also the knights, which looks really cool. This kind of reminds me of like an Alexander-esque strategy right here, where the dog handlers are actually just mixed in with the cavalry. It looks really, really cool. Yeah, more cavalry charges going off. Oh my god, look at that. They are just beams of sunlight in the sun. Holy crap. As more archer fire goes back, I paused it a little bit just because I wanted to watch this fight kind of fully unfold. You know, a lot of the time these infantry lines just clash and it's just over in a blink of the eye. But for now, we are seeing a lot of these forces hitting into each other. We can see the Flemish knights, who again, I think have been updated recently. These are Knights of the Fish right here. They look great. They look really cool. You know, they definitely look very different to a lot of the other factions around them. And that's kind of very unique. Oh, we also have some of the dismounted Flemish knights as well, with their huge greatswords and halberds and warhammers. I'm actually going to get a good charge off on the Ducal himself. Oh, this is very scary. If the Ducal goes down, then we can probably see him in the ranks, right? Yeah, he's going to be right there, I think, or maybe right there. Yeah, the dude pushing forward. He needs to be careful, though, because that unit can chew through heavy armor very quickly. a massive engagement, though, about to kick off in this central line. As more spearmen get actually committed to fighting these dog handlers and also the cavalry. And we also have a big engagement right here. And it seems like the Flemish, with the support of the Genoese, have committed more infantry to this fight. And that could be devastating, you know. But one of the big things about these battles, which do go on such a large scale, is when gaps appear, the cavalry can exploit them gaps, and it can be absolutely catastrophic. I always do that as well. I always press escape. So we can go back onto normal speed right now. It does seem like the Ducal himself has charged him, but he is so goddamn low. Look at him. He only has 17 men. And the Knights are going to try and chase him down, bring him down before he can escape. No, they're going to let him just run right through. I don't really know what they're chasing after. But yeah, the Ducal himself, that's huge if they're going to lose their general. That's really big. And now you can see cavalry is running amok. The spearmen running interference to slow them down. And that's going to allow the Genoese to move in. Really good teamwork by the red team right now. As well as that the infantry lines have now collided. Look how awesome that looks, man. Just as far as the eye can see. The line's going. And we've even got pikemen as well, pushing in here to help out. Yeah, on this side you can see the pikes going through the infantry. More guys going in as well, just looking to break up these battle lines. Yeah, you got the halberds here as well. The halberds are such good infantry for breaking up defensive formations because they just have such high defense. However, the Pavese look like they are doing a decent kind of repartee with them. Very nice back and forth. We've got a cool formation set up here as the cavalry are clashing as well between the Swiss and also who was on this side? Trier, yeah, the Elector Trier. And again, more of their lines are going to be pushing forward. We've got a nice defensive setup though by the Pavese. There's even a few bolts in their shields as well. Oh, and the enemy general is dead. Who? Whose general died? Did the Flemish general did go down? How did the Flemish general die compared to the Ducal? All the archers should be trained on him right now. And that's going to be devastating for their battle line, right? It seems like Milan have a very good advantage going into this fight. It's whether or not the cavalry can be big. Oh, and we also have the general. Oh my god, the Milanese cavalry have broken through this rear rank, and they're going to be looking to open up the fight. Charge into these spearmen. Oh, did they get caught? No, I think they got caught. Charge, charge, charge. Killing some crossbowmen, yet all the bowmen are now routing for the Flemish. This is catastrophic. Losing their general has been huge. Oh my god, that is not good. Even though the cavalry is about to go down, it's still absolutely horrific. Because as you can see, the Flemish spearmen are about to break with 157 men because they've got cavalry in the back. Okay, they've studied a little bit more, but because there was cavalry, that was really bad for them. Really, really bad. Rest of the battle lines are kind of very much an ebb and flow back and forth. Oh, wow, though. The Trier have broken through the Swiss ranks. And now they've got their cavalry in the back just running amok. Infantry flooding through this gap as well. That is huge. We are going to have some of the Swiss cavalry moving in, but this Swiss cavalry seems like it's a little bit lighter than, say, the heavy plate mail knights. And that is huge. The cavalry is just going to have a field day in the back, even though they are getting beaten back somehow. But now the cavalry is going to continue to push on. And if the infantry can flood through this gap as well, man, that's going to be crazy. The Archbishop himself is going to be going in here to help clear out these battle lines. In his purple, looking very good. Over on the other side of the battle, you can see both Milan and Trier are trying their best to beat up one another. And it seems like the Flemish are breaking through now. The infantry line's proving a little bit stronger, even with their general being slain on the field of battle. They are now breaking through themselves, colliding down, and it's going to be pretty big. The center, it seems like just a block of infantry right now. Neither side giving any quarter whatsoever. Even some archers over the top as well, trying to rally back anything. Any reserves still left remaining. This is such a big breach in the Swiss line. It really is. The mercenaries, though, the famous Swiss halberds and pikes are doing a very good job. Going over some axe infantry here. The cavalry moving around. The Swiss halberds, the Bern halberdiers, advancing in against the Trierian knights. Trierian, is that the right word? Kind of sounds like I'm saying Aryan, which probably isn't the best thing to say on YouTube. I probably just got demonetized for saying that. Thanks, YouTube. So if you guys could drop a like and a comment down below, I'd really appreciate that to kind of counteract it. Also, if you want to support me on Patreon, the link is down below. And you can also become a channel member as well. If you like what you see, you'll get perks such as a cool flag next to your name in the comments. So when you do drop that comment, you'll get a little bit more clout, as well as a great way to support the channel. And you also get emotes in live stream as well, which we do every week. The pikeman, this seems like such a good strategy. Unless you have the bowman to kill the pikeman, it seems very hard to break apart this line. It really does. If we take a look at the overall battlefield, look how like sturdy this line is on the left-hand side and in the middle. And then the Milanese and the Flemish line is just such a brawl. Both sides just trying to take every bit of infantry line that they can. I also feel like this battle maybe was a little bit of a desync. I am recording this a little bit later. Because there's a lot of dudes over here just not moving. But for the most part, the battle seems like it's running fine. It just seems like there was an unfortunate desync over on this side. But hopefully the battle will still play out perfectly. I haven't seen anything crazy happen, so I'm sure it will be perfectly fine. It's just sometimes they make minor updates to the mod and it kind of desyncs replays, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. It's my own fault for not recording this sooner. Oh, we have the War Dogs moving in up against the Flemish infantry. And these are the special, yeah, these are the Knights of Saint Sebastian, is it? Saint Sebastian? Yeah, the spearmen. They have really cool kind of like polearm spears. Look at that. It's a very unique weapon to them as they try and fight away the dogs of war. Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of flashing down this battle line. As well as that, the Swiss have just been completely hammered in on this right-hand side. They really have. Unfortunately, they just didn't really hold too firm. I mean, I say that, but I think all of these units have desynced. So maybe the Swiss have not been that smashed in. It's hard to determine what side is winning when there's been a bit of a desync, because you have so many of these units just kind of like scattered around, not moving. But if you see a unit moving, it hasn't been desynced. And we're about to get a big cavalry charge coming in here. The Bohemians looking to rally up their infantry, charging the back of these Flemish spearmen. As the Flemish spearmen do go up against the Ducal Guard from Milan. With the Knights stuck in there as well. It's a very deadly combo. I mean, the Ducal Guard themselves are a formidable opponent. Especially with cavalry just colliding in. I really love this coat as well, this chainmail coat on the horse as well. The horse armor looks great. And there we go. The battle lines are starting to break apart on both sides. It seems like the Milanese have won over here and they're rallying their soldiers round the flank to, you know, help support the rest of their infantry. Then it also seems like, you know, the other side's winning. Genoa's winning on this side. They've broken through a big, large portion of the center right here. And some spearmen are breaking over on this side. So it's really anyone's game. I mean, balance of power is in favor of Genoa. They do actually have a 1,000-man advantage, 1,200-man advantage. Which actually does definitely add up. And that's kind of crazy how many men they still have left. As more men make their way over, just surrounding the, I mean, it says that they have a lot more men, but where? It seems like there's a lot more red on the battlefield. I guess there's a lot of Swiss infantry just chilling here. And I guess Genoa have managed to win, not Genoa, sorry, Milan have managed to beat the Flemish, so I guess they can come round and just help support, and now it's just kind of scattered infantry. Yeah, actually, the Swiss have managed to kill the majority of the... yeah, okay, cool. I thought that the forces over here of Trier did manage to win this fight. Well, it doesn't really look like the case. Now there's hardly anyone left on the side of Trier, Genoa, and the Flemish, the Dutch. So for now, I mean, it seems like the battle is probably over at this point, that the Milanese are going to claim it. But we will just stick around and watch the last couple of fightings. I feel like I haven't done too many close-ups this day in this battle. So we'll just stick around, watch a few of the knights fighting, see if we can see any cool animations going off. And if you guys, as I said, want to see more of these 12-12 battles now that Three Kingdoms has been out a while, just let me know. You know, I go ahead and react to how many likes a video gets. If a video gets, you know, more likes than normal, even if it doesn't get as many views, I'm more likely to do that because you guys are telling me you want to see it. So if you do want to see more of this, make sure you drop a like and a comment, because it helps out the channel unbelievably you know, much, and it just lets me know that you guys enjoy this content and you want to see more. As the fighting continues, I think it seems like everything is being wrapped up right now. There are a few infantry left, but let's just go ahead and skip ahead towards the last stand. Okay, so the battle did wrap up right there. Nothing much really interesting happened. It was just them chasing down the last couple units. Unfortunately, I don't think the kills are going to work because it was a desynced battle, even though I feel like the outcome was absolutely fine. Yeah, unfortunately, there was unfortunately there was no kills, which kind of sucks, so we can't see that. But, you know, if I get any more replays in the future, I'll be sure to do them a lot, like, as soon as I get them. It's just because, obviously, Three Kingdoms was out, so I didn't have time to get around to do this replay, which is why it ended up desyncing. But I feel like the battle itself still played out perfectly, and it was a very, very interesting clash indeed. So if you guys enjoyed this, as I've been saying, drop a like and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.